let me tell you something that I just did. Something that I have to do. Or rather, I don't have to do it, but I choose to do it. And I don't like doing it. Every now and then, I have to do it. And I really don't want to do it. I hate doing it. Because it hurts. It makes me scared. And I guess what I'm about to tell you that I have to do from time to time is kind of graphic. I guess. If anything, I should probably just go to the doctor. So, what I tried to do tonight, just before recording this post-commentary... I am recording, right? Yep. Okay, so something I just had to do is that every now and then I have these ingrown hairs where the entire hair is under my skin. It doesn't like curl at the bottom and then there's a little piece sticking out that I can just use tweezers and pull at. No, the entire hair is under my skin. There is a black line of hair, like a very visible black line, completely under my skin. And, not gonna lie, that kind of freaks me out, so I try to remove it. But you might be asking, if it's completely under your skin, how do you remove it? If there's no entry, or there's no point of exposure to pull at it, how do you remove it? Well, I gotta get under there. So, yes, it is exactly what you think I would need to do. I need to pretty much cut myself until I'm able to reach deep enough and get it. But sometimes I chicken out. So, I should also preface that I don't use a blade, I don't use a knife, I don't use a scalpel, you know? Because I'm not about to do that. I'm not about to try that. Instead, I kind of do the chicken's way out and I take a needle and I try to poke down under, like use a needle to dig up a space deep enough and big enough to where maybe I can get just a little something of the hair peeking out to where I can get it with the tweezers. And by the way, look at that, 500 Koroks. Sometimes I manage to succeed. Sometimes I manage to just use a needle and dig deep enough to where I'm able to get the completely ingrown hair out. But other times, like tonight, I chicken out. I begin the process, and once you begin, you kind of can't stop, just because, you know, you're still cutting your skin, you're still damaging your body in a way, and if you stop, your body begins to heal. Once it scabs up, well, you especially cannot try to dig at it until it fully heals, and at that point, do you really want to try again? So yeah, tonight I had this ingrown hair that was completely underneath my skin. What made it worse is the exact position it was in, like the location on my body it was. Had like a pretty big zit over it for quite a while, and then when that zit finally healed, well, that you know, that spot still looked the part. Like it still looked scarred from having the zit there. I didn't pop the zit, but it still had that like slightly scarred tissue of having that there. And tonight I decided I'll give it a try. So I was trying to dig into some like already scarred tissue with the needle I use, and I chickened out. It took me like, I sat there for almost an hour just like hyperventilating because I am terrified of needles. I'm terrified of being poked, and the fact that I need to do it myself, I just couldn't do it. Sometimes I'm able to do it. Sometimes I'm able to succeed and, you know, get the hair out. But times like tonight, I just chickened out. I really started to panic when I poked deep enough to where I felt a little sting and a little bit of blood was starting to come out. It's like, okay, take a deep breath. I almost threw up. I really don't like needles. But like, yeah, I chickened out, and now that the whole hair is still under my skin, and it's gonna start scabbing up, it's gonna start healing. And I'm kind of thinking that once it fully heals, maybe I should go to the doctor and have the doctor check it out. But then again, it's like, what's a doctor gonna do? They're not gonna take out a scalpel and just cut a gash to remove the hair right then and there. Or at least I don't think they would. I mean, once I chickened out and I stopped the process, I did put a little bit of like polysporin on it to try to get it to heal faster and better. So that's what I had to do tonight. I tried my damnedest, but I just couldn't. I chickened out. Now I realize that I know that when you take like a flu shot, you take a syringe, a needle, it goes far enough into the skin to where it enters the bloodstream, you know? And so, I only scratched the surface, you know what I mean? I couldn't even get to where the hair starts to grow. You know what I mean? Like, no way I penetrated deep enough into where the bloodstream starts. So it's like, I really couldn't do it. And you have to keep in mind, too, that it isn't just straight down. I also have to try to angle it to the point the needle can hook onto the hair to try to pull it out. Or at least pull some of it out to where it's exposed and sticking out, to where I can pull the rest out with tweezers. I know this all sounds disgusting, and I'm sorry to tell you this. But yeah, that's what I did tonight, and now there is a tiny, tiny, tiny little puncture wound on my skin that will take, like, at least a week to heal. You know, just a tiny little needle hole. I'm making this sound so out of proportion. It's just a tiny little, tiny, tiny, tiny little needle poke wound, and I'm here almost about to faint over it. But I just really, really cannot take needles. I can't look at needles when they enter the skin. I can't take it. No, I just can't. I start to panic. I start to hyperventilate. I borderline almost faint. Anyway, sorry, I was just replying to a friend. He was replying to some of the reels I sent him on Instagram. Ever since he got a girlfriend, I've been sending him reels of, like, you know, now being in a relationship reel, or how the guys react reel. Like, I just sent him this one the other day, where it's a clip from the B movie, where it's in court, and the fat lawyer guy, I guess, the fat defense attorney or whatever, is going up to, I don't even remember the character's name, the main B character. He's just like, what exactly is your relationship with that woman? Are you close? Do you live together? Like that kind. And the caption is just, when the boys find out you've been seeing a girl. Anyway, so, after I just told you about my disgusting procedure of how I sometimes remove ingrown hairs, doesn't the human body just suck sometimes? Why can't it just function the way it should? Why can't hair just grow out normally? Why does sometimes it has to grow badly, like, you know, ingrown? Ingrown. Or ingrown, whatever. Grow out wrong. Why does it sometimes have to do that? Whatever. So, today, we have another presentation slideshow from school for me to read out. And I don't remember if I read this one out yet. I took a quick glance over the material, and I don't think I did. But then again, this one is short. Maybe I did read it out, and I don't remember. Remember how I said there was a slideshow I previously read out that was 96 slides? Did I read a short one after that? Because I have this one here in front of me that's 28 slides. It's after the 96 slides one. I don't remember if I read this. I do remember reading a short one, you know, a short one and being done with it quick. I don't remember if it was this one or not. If it is, I might just be repeating the same thing. I might just reread the exact same material I already read. But if that's the case, then so be it. Well, clearly, if I did already read it, clearly I don't remember it. So I guess it wouldn't be a bad thing for me to reread it. What exactly am I supposed to tell the doctor? Because, okay, I'll just tell you. The ingrown hair is located on my thigh. Like my upper thigh as well. It's not like on my arm where I can just roll up my sleeve. No, if I tell the doctor to look at it, I would have to pull down my pants. You know, it's high up on the thigh to where I can't just like roll up the pants leg unless I'm wearing really loose shorts. So if I were to ask the doctor to take a look, yeah, I would have to pull down my pants. I don't know if I would feel better with it being a male or a female doctor. And let's think about this real quick. What exactly would the doctor do? They would probably take a look at it. I don't know if it's recommended to just leave it alone. You know how you're recommended not to yoink out ingrown hairs? Well, this one is entirely under the skin, so I imagine it has to go. It has to be removed. Either the doctor, which I highly doubt, would right then and there pull out a scalpel, just make a light incision, and then just yank it out. I kind of doubt the doctor would do that right then and there. Then again, it's like, what else are they going to do? They're going to refer me to someone else? They're going to schedule me a different date to come back to get it done? You ever notice that doctor clinics love to do that? They always reschedule you to get something else done. When it's like, well, we're already here. I realize that doctors, they have busy schedules, you know. And yeah, the stuff that you make an appointment to do, they probably didn't expect to do anything else. And they're already scheduled with other patients. You know what I mean? But it's like, sometimes... yeah, sometimes I feel like you probably could get the thing done as well. Just to save the hassle of having to come back again. But whatever. Okay. Let's talk about this. It's 28 slides. I wonder if I'm going to be able to finish it all right now. Well, let's get started. So, sump pumps and laundry tub pumps. I already don't think I read this. So, sump pumps. Sump pumps handle rain and melting snow around the house. Sump pumps are used in area singular. Sump pumps are used in areas with high water tables, poor grading, or street storm sewer level than the lowest floor level. Exterior perimeter drainage tiles. Exterior perimeter drainage tiles, gutters, and downspouts may discharge into a sump pump. Functions. Sump pumps are designed to handle storm water from rain and melting snow that accumulates around the building. They don't handle solids. Sump pumps are usually provided when there is a risk of flooding subgrade areas. Exterior perimeter drainage tile may drain into a sump pump system. Gutters and downspouts may also discharge into a sump pump system. Although this arrangement is risky because it brings a lot of outdoor stormwater into the building. Downspouts are best arranged to discharge above grade several feet from the house. Where needed. Some houses need sump pumps because the general slope of the land is such that surface storm water accumulates around and under the foundations. In other areas, sump pumps are necessary because the water table is particularly high, at least during some parts of the year. The municipality may require a sump pump if the storm sewers are high or higher than the lowest floor level. I can't read. Yellow flag. The presence of a sump pump is a yellow flag. Look carefully for dampness in subgrade areas and possible chronic flooding problems. Hold on, I just got a notification on my phone. Alright, function. Some pumps are designed to handle storm water from rain and melting snow that accumulates around the building. They don't handle solids. Didn't I just read this? Is this the same paragraph? It is. Okay, the next slide is exactly all the same text, except for one new paragraph at the bottom. Components. A sump pump system consists of a sump, bracket tank, that is typically buried below the basement floor level. It has a slot. Jeez. It has a side inlet, sometimes several of them. The sump may be made of concrete, plastic, or metal. In some cases, the sump is merely a hole dug out of the subgrade earth. These kind of sumps usually collapse over time. Alright, here's a picture. Pedestal sump pump. Wire on the right, discharge just above. Notice a float on the top of water. Another diagram. Another sump pump with no cover. Here's a diagram with a lot more words to read. Here's a typical submersible pump. As you can see with the motor at the bottom. The sump is empty. We don't recommend that you test it by filling it with water, as the sump is huge and it would take a very long time. There may also be a reason why it is not active. And definitely don't test it if there is no water, as this can damage the motor. Another diagram. Well, I say diagram, these are just pictures, like pictures of real life examples. This pedestal pump is not properly installed in the sump pit. In addition, the sump pit is empty. Simply document that the pump is inoperative and that the pit is empty. So this is a limitation in your inspection. Also, the cover for the sump pit is missing. Another picture. There is a cover for the sump pit, but there is no pump! Exclamation point. Another, probably the last picture before I see a lot of slides ahead of me with words. So the last picture for now. Let's look at some issues. Here's the discharge pipe for a sump pump. Similar to downspouts, it should be located several feet away from the foundation. It doesn't make much sense to collect the water around the foundation just to have it dumped back where it came from. So the picture is just a little pipe sticking out of the side of a concrete wall. Kind of looks like the way an ingrown hair sticks out of the body. Alright, components. Pump and power. Pedestal or submersible type. Piping. PVC discharge and no vent required. Discharge. Into sewer lines, in a ditch, on ground surface, into a French drain. Buried pipes. Buried discharge. Backup pump. In case of inoperative pump. Components. A sump pump system consists of a sump. Wait, is this the same paragraph again? Okay, no, it's a different paragraph. I just had to look. Because when we read the function earlier, that was a bigger paragraph. So this one's different. Components. A sump pump system consists of a sump bracket tank that is typically buried below the basement floor level. It has a side inlet. Am I sure? Sounds like I read this. Did I look at the right slide? Oh no, it is. This is the extra paragraph. Okay, so we can just skip over that. Sump pumps, common problems. Inoperative, poorly secured or rusted, excess noise or vibration, short cycling, debris in sump or clogged sump damaged, discharge pipe problems, missing lid, electrical problems. Alright, inoperative. Causes: defective float switch system, electrical problem, seized pump or burned out motor. Implication: flooding. Strategy: recommend or replacement. I think that might mean to say recommend of replacement or a replacement. It literally says recommend or replacement. But whatever. Causes: the sump pump may not work for several reasons. A defective float switch system, a lack of electrical power, a seized pump, a burned out motor. Implications: this is a risk of the house flooding if the sump pump is not operable. Strategy: report the inoperative pump and recommend repair or replacement. If the pump operates but is not well secured or is badly rusted, let your client know that the system is in distress and operation may not be reliable. You may recommend re-securing the pump or having a backup pump on hand. Alright, noise or vibration. Causes, or just cause, worn pump or motor. Implication: pump failure. Strategy: recommend servicing. Causes: excess noise or vibration may be caused by a worn pump or motor with worn or damaged bearings. There may also be foreign material in the pump, pedestal, or discharge pipe. Implications: pump failure may just be around the corner if the pump is excessively noisy or vibrates. Strategy: where the pump operation seems noisy or has excess vibration, recommend further investigation and servicing. These pumps are so inexpensive that it may make more sense to have a spare pump on hand rather than repair the pump. Note: the submersible pumps are more expensive than the pedestal pumps. Okay, this one has more to read. Short cycling. Causes: control problem, stuck or defective float switch, too much water. Implications: shortened life expectancy. Strategy: recommend servicing and check discharge point. Alright, so causes: pumps may run continuously because there is a control problem. The float switch may be defective. A float may be stuck and may not be able to drop when the water levels drop. In this situation, the pump may burn out or shut off in a thermal... The pump may burn out or shut off on thermal overload. There is water pouring into the sump continuously. Having a pump that can just barely keep up with the water coming into the sump may mean that the house is at risk of flooding. The discharge line is obstructed or disconnected. The pump may be operating properly, but the water may not be carried away. Pumps may short cycle because the sump is too small, the float switches are not set correctly. Or rather, hold on, I read that sentence wrong. The float switches are set incorrectly. But me misreading it still led to the same definition. Implications: short cycling or running continuously may shorten the life of the pump. Strategy: if the pump short cycles, recommend servicing. If the pump runs continuously, watch the water level to determine whether the pump is running with the sump dry or whether water is flowing into the sump at a consistent and significant rate. If the pump is running continuously, it becomes more important to find the discharge point. That way, you can assure yourself that water is moving properly through the discharge pipe. An obstructed or disconnected discharge pipe may have the pump running continuously but not moving water out of the pump. Alright, what about debris in sump? Causes dirt from around sump, water bringing in slits or other solids. Implications: won't move water, pump will fail. Strategy: make sure sump is relatively clean. Alright, I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping here. Slide 16, the one I just read, and slide 17 are exactly the same. So, there's just an extra slide here. Alright, guess we'll go on to slide 18 of 28. Keep that in mind. Sump damage. Causes: walls can eventually fail. Bracket, poor quality concrete or corroded metal, or corroding metal. Implications: dirt will enter the sump and eventually the pump. Strategy: recommend replacing with a plastic sump. Alright, discharge pipe problems. Causes: leaks, crimps, poor connections, frozen, obstructed, poor termination location. Implications: water won't clear the sump. Strategy: ensure water is flowing out of the discharge point. Alright, missing lid or electrical problems. Treat the same way you would a sewage ejector pump. There are considered life safety issues. Ooh, more to read on this next slide. Slide 21. Alright, now we move on to, I guess, laundry tub pumps. These are used where the laundry facility is below the elevation of the sewer. Designed to either move the lint through the pump or to chew up the lint. It literally says that. Designed to either move the lint through the pump or to chew up the lint. I guess the one extra "the" is there, so it should say chew up the lint. Test laundry pumps by filling the laundry tub. The should end into a sanitary sewer system. There's a lot of spelling issues, a lot of grammar issues in this presentation. The should end into a sanitary sewer system. Anyway, so function. Laundry tub pumps are used when the laundry facilities are below the elevation of the sewers, or just the sewer. These are typically located beneath the laundry tub, just after, bracket, downstream of, the trap. Some have an automatic float switch that activates the pump when the laundry tub fills. Others have a manual switch that has to be turned on. Intermediate level. Laundry tub pumps are designed to either be able to move the lint through the pump or to chew up the lint. See? It was meant to say chew up the lint. A laundry tub can be thought of as an intermediate step in terms of pump complexity and capacity between a sump pump and a sewage ejector pump. A laundry tub pump can handle more solids than a sump pump, but not as many as a sewer pump. Is this where this is where I needed to wait for my Rivali's Gale to recharge. So there are some Koroks in the game that you need Rivali's Gale to get. Unless there's another method here that I just don't know about. We're not playing Tears of the Kingdom where I can just make myself a hovercraft. So yeah, I literally just stood here and waited until my Rivali's Gale recharged. And there was going to be a couple times where I had to do this. See, because I don't think you can climb up here any other way. Identification. It should be difficult to identify a laundry tub pump. It shouldn't! My god. There's a big difference there. It shouldn't be difficult to identify a laundry tub pump. The pump is typically located below the laundry tub. You should see the discharge pipe from the pipe bracket very often and ABS pipe. Occasionally, a laundry pump may be in a sump in the floor, similar to a sewage ejector. Be careful that you do not identify these as sewage ejectors. They cannot handle human waste. Testing. The laundry tub pump can be tested by filling the laundry tub or tubs at least part way. If there is an automatic switch, the pump should activate itself. If the pump is manually operated, you should fill the laundry tubs and start the pump. You should shut the pump off as soon as the tub is empty. Discharge point. If you can trace the discharge pipe to its termination point, you'll want to ensure that water is being dumped out the end of the pipe or into a drainage system. Where you can't see the discharge point, this will limit your testing. Alright, here is a diagram, like an actual diagram of a laundry tub pump. So A, fill tub with water until pump starts, bracket if pump is automatic, or turn on manual switch. B, check pump for proper operation leaks, excess noise, or vibration. C, follow discharge pipe to check for proper termination and check valve, bracket if required. Alright, laundry tub pumps common problems. Missing, inoperative, excess noise or vibration, short cycling or running continuously, electrical problems, clogged, discharge pipe problems. Not going to go through each in detail since implications and strategies are similar to those already discussed for some pumps. Alright, common conditions. Missing, improper drainage or premature pump failure. Inoperative, laundry facility will not work. Short cycling or running continuously. Reduced life expectancy. Excessive noise or vibrations. Worn pump or foreign material in the pump. Electrical problems. Like safety issue. Clogged. Pump may seize or motor may burn out. Discharge pipe problems. Leaks, obstructions, poor termination, no check valve. Alright, here's a picture. Here's a larger laundry pump. Another picture. Here's an older laundry pump. And slide 28, the last one. It's a case study with a picture. Case study 1. Component. Drain piping for washing machine. Condition. Water has to travel uphill. Laundry pump would be a good idea. Implication. Improper drainage of washing machine. Premature failure of washing machine pump. Recommendation, add a laundry tub pump. Alright, and there we go. That took me like 20 minutes. And that's the entire week's material. Okay, so now we just have an entire half hour of post-commentating to do. So, I was about to talk about something, but now I don't even remember what I was going to say. Well, tomorrow mornings, once again, when I need to wake up, because it's Sunday right now, tomorrow's Monday, so I need to wake up early tomorrow. I guess maybe I should just react to my own gameplay footage. Yeah, I just took down a Yiga. 2 bananas, of course, very nice. Oh, another Yiga, look at that. Well, at least this Yiga gives me rupees. And look at that, it happened again, where I wasn't planning to do this Korok, but along the way, I just passed right by it, so I may as well do it while I make my way to the next one. And at least it's a rather easy Korok to do. You know, my fat ass is gonna be eating a lot more McDonald's coming up. Because currently, right now, as of this moment, there are the Super Mario Galaxy movie toys in McDonald's. The other day, I got a Happy Meal and I got the Frog Luigi one. I really just want the Rosalina one. And, you know, as an added bonus, I guess I'll take the Mario one. Like, I'm not really as excited for this as I should be. I love Mario Galaxy. Specifically, Mario Galaxy 2 is my #1 favorite Mario game of all time. I know people are gonna hard disagree with that because they're gonna say Galaxy 1 is so much better. To each their own. I personally prefer Galaxy 2. But yeah, it's like these are Mario Galaxy toys in McDonald's. I should be over the moon for this. But it's like, I'm not. In fact, I only really just want the Rosalina one. I'm not trying to collect a whole set. I don't know, maybe because like the toys are kind of ugly and low quality. If you look at the facial design, it kind of looks cheap compared to the McDonald's toys of the past. And then, I don't know, something about like the way that they're implementing different things from different Mario games into the Galaxy movie. I don't know, it just kind of doesn't feel pure to me, I guess. Because like there was no Wonder Bowser Jr. in the Galaxy games. Mario Wonder didn't even come out at that point. But yet, for the Mario Galaxy movie toys in McDonald's, we have a Wonder Bowser Jr. toy. It's like, that's not the Galaxy I remember. But I get it. They're mixing things up so that it's not as predictable. It's not so basic. But yeah, aside from the Mario Galaxy movie toys in McDonald's right now, pretty soon, in a couple days, there's gonna be the K-pop Demon Hunter meals in McDonald's, and you bet your sweet Bippy I'm gonna try to collect those cards. Yeah, a lot of McDonald's being eaten by me soon. In fact, today I made the mistake of buying 2 Happy Meals. I was debating, do I just buy 1? Or do I try my luck and buy 2? Because what McDonald's are doing nowadays, kind of, I don't know, piggybacking off of the trend of all the blind box craze, I guess, is that, yeah, their toys are in these blind boxes. I remember a time in the past when McDonald's toys came in a little plastic bag. Anyone else remember that? But now the toys literally come in a blind box. I remember this being the case for the Minecraft movie toys, the BTS meals, and now the Mario Galaxy movie toys. Although, And I didn't check the Minecraft toys, the boxes before this. I have all of them. But, you know, my sister is a pretty big, annoying BTS fan. So when the BTS meals were in McDonald's, she constantly asked me to also go to McDonald's and check which toys they have available that day. Like, go to multiple locations, too. And at least for the BTS meals, they were nice enough to number the boxes. Like, there was a number outside the box to indicate which person's toy was inside. But I looked all over the Mario Galaxy movie toy box. Like, I looked at all 6 sides. Not a number to indicate what was inside. So, today, when I bought 2 Happy Meals, I got 2 Bowser Jr. Wonder... I got 2 Wonder Bowser Jr.'s. And I'm like, I should have known. I should have known, because just like with the BTS meal, McDonald's, their toys usually come in waves. Like, each day has one single toy. Like, that'll be the toy that location has for the entire day. A part of me hoped that it would be completely randomized, considering the boxes don't have a number indicating what's inside on the outside. But no. Today I got 2 Wonder Bowser Jr.'s. Yeah, I shouldn't have tested my luck. I mean, I could just try my luck and get all the toys from McDonald's legitimately by ordering a ton of Happy Meals, or I can do what I started to do lately, and that is just eBaying the entire set. You know, it's like I could gamble my money and spend more than I might need to until I get the whole set, or I could just spend a little bit more on eBay to 100% ensure I get them all. It's kind of my philosophy, or at least my mindset, with blind boxes, like genuine blind boxes. You know, the whole Labubu blind box thing. I don't care about the actual Labubu themselves, but there are some blind box sets where there's just one in there I want. So I buy the entire set to ensure I get the one I want, instead of gambling until I get it by buying it one at a time, or instead of just spending a little bit extra online, like eBay, to just buy the one I want. Because, literally, recently, there's a ton of Pokemon blind box sets that only have one in them I want. And I looked it up, too. The options were buy the one I want on eBay for roughly 50 bucks, or maybe spend like $100 and just buy the whole set. Now, that is still me spending more money than I need to, since I only want the one, but it's like, it's 1 for 50, or 6 for 100. I think that second one sounds like a better deal. But then there are some times where there is genuinely an entire set I want, i.e. every single Kirby set. Do not ever show me Kirby merch, otherwise I want all of it. All of it. You think I'm kidding, but I'm not. That's why Kirby merchandise is so dangerous around me. I will buy it all. Or at least I really would want to buy it all. What was I saying? I was talking about the McDonald's stuff. So yeah, soon I will have the Mario Galaxy stuff, the Mario Galaxy shits, and then the K-pop Demon Hunter stuff. You know, there are times when McDonald's has quote-unquote toys that I want. I'm a grown-ass man collecting McDonald's toys. Ain't that pathetic? Well, every now and then, They have Pokemon cards, which I do collect those. I don't collect cards anymore in general, but Pokemon cards from McDonald's, I'll collect those. So, yeah, Pokemon in McDonald's I will collect. Every now and then, like a movie collab, kind of like the Mario Galaxy movie or the Minecraft movie. Yeah, I'll collect those. Every now and then, when McDonald's has Hot Wheels, I'll collect those. I used to collect Hot Wheels when I was younger, but then I stopped. But same thing, if McDonald's has them, I'll collect them. I haven't really seen Hot Wheels in McDonald's for quite a while. And, well, this one is a thing of the past, but when it did happen, oh boy, was it awesome. When McDonald's had Bakugan, remember that? Remember Bakugan? It still hurts me to this day that Bakugan fell off the way it did. You know, it's not as popular as it used to be. But there's still a very loyal fan base, kind of like how No Shame in Feeding collects Bakugan still. I would, but there's just too many other things that I'm collecting. I kind of can't spend my money on another thing to start collecting. I really wish I had my Bakugans from when I was younger. I'm trying to think, were there any other McDonald's toys that I would have collected? Or would collect? Because, like... It can't just be me who noticed that McDonald's toys quality has gone down, right? For like a, what, $1 billion company, they can't afford to make high quality toys for their kids' meals that adults like me buy? Well, I don't feel like an adult at all. I'm still a kid at heart. I think my immaturity kind of speaks for itself. Welp, I got nothing else to talk about. I honestly could just stay silent for the rest of this, and nobody would care. Uh... Well, I really don't have anything to say. You know, posting these Koroks... Yeah, these Koroks are taking longer than I expected. Not even just collecting them, like posting them too. I didn't expect them to take this long. But they're coming out consistently at least. Not like anyone cares, but who cares about that? Hmm. I thought I got a couple messages, but no. No, I did not. Look what happens when I don't have schoolwork to read. Man, the last time I checked how much more runtime there is, it was 17 minutes left. Now it's 11 minutes left. I really have nothing else to talk about today. Oh yeah, there was an entire Sonic blind box set that I want. All of them. Every single one. The rare pull is Super Sonic with the 7 Chaos Emeralds. I want that. But, you know, money. I'm already spending a lot on, you know, amiibos, games, a couple of Funko Pops. Well, I don't really buy Funko Pops that often anymore. I buy them when I see one I want or I like. Well, of course, I buy them when I want them, you know. You know, there's an entire wiki online that tells you what toys are in McDonald's and when. Like, the wiki says it all the way to when McDonald's first started having toys or some sort of entertainment goodie with their meal. It's kind of crazy to look over this wiki and see, like, 10 years ago what there was. Alright, I literally just pulled up the wiki just for fun. There's gonna be toys for Spider-Man Brand New Day, and then there's gonna be a Sonic Cross Hello Kitty. I'm gonna have to see what those look like before I decide if I want them or not. Pokemon's 30th anniversary, that's coming later this year, I believe. Or at least from what I see here. And there's also gonna be Avengers Doomsday toys. There's gonna be Sonic the Hedgehog 4, like the movie. Yo, I'm ready for those. Wow, I see 2027's McDonald's sets are kind of stacked. Because there's a lot of movie toys here. I see Ice Age Boiling Point, Sonic the Hedgehog 4, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, Shrek 5, a Minecraft Movie 2, Motel Transylvania, Frozen 3, Avengers Secret Wars. Yo, 2027's McDonald's are kind of stacked. You know, I fell off the Hotel Transylvania franchise. I didn't like the direction they were going. I really just enjoyed the first film. The second film was okay to me. And then after that, it's like, no. Yeah, no. No. Ho, 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 ho. The animation just got sillier, too. And didn't one of the films they replace Adam Sandler? Yeah, no. The first two films are the only good ones in my eyes. And the second one is debatable. Just the first film. Oh, you know what? Speaking of the Mario Galaxy McDonald's set, I think somewhere out there, maybe like France, has a totally different set where it's coins. Like actual thick, shiny coins. I want those. And there's even like a red one that's a special, like, rare one. Alright, I see her on Reddit, one of the more degenerate websites out there. From what I see, this is only in Europe. I've seen France and Germany have it. And I want these coins! But instead we just get the cheap-ass plastic figures. anyways, we're gonna wrap up soon. I think this is the other time, or another time, I had to wait for Rivali's Gale to charge up just because it's raining.
Rivali's Gale is now ready.
Well, that'll just about do it for today. Today was a bit messy, not gonna lie. Well, we're almost done for today. And one by one, we're slowly getting done with the Koroks. Alright, well, see you guys next time.